we need to understand that the way it looks, starting by respecting y, will be difficult. So we need to change the variables that we are respecting. We need to change. So what is inside here is dy. That means when integrating, we must integrate first with respect to y, and then we come and respect x. Now the way it looks, it's very difficult. So we have to switch these. Now we don't just switch, we have to graph. So we're going to say y is equal to x power 2. So look at this. We are respecting y, and the integral sign which is inside, the limit which is down here, we shall equate it to y, and also this one we equate it to y. So we're going to form these two equations. Y is equal to x power 2, which is this one. The other one, y is equal to 1. So we need these two equations. Again, we go to the variable we are respecting outside here, dx. It's x. So we need to form two equations with the x. We're going to say x is equal to a 0. Another one, x is equal to a 1. So these are the two equations. X is equal to 0. X is equal to a 1. Now we've got four equations which we need to graph. Of course, for these two, we are going to find the intersection or intersecting points where they are intersecting, this one and this one. So to find that, we are going to equate them. Since we know that y is equal to x power 2, y is equal to 1. We shall say x is equal to a 1. Actually, x squared. I'm just equating these two. So meaning x squared is equal to a 1. We solve this equation. So we'll find that the value of x will be equal to 1 or negative 1. So we're going to say the intersecting points of these two equations will be x value is equal to 1. The other point, the x value is equal to a negative 1. So these are the two intersecting points. Now we need to find the value of y. For the value of y, we get this, substitute in this equation. So x, when x is equal to 1, you put your 1 here. What will be your y? Your y will be 1. You get negative 1, you substitute here, it will still give us a 1. So these are the points where those two equations are meeting. So we can graph. So we shall say this is our y-axis, and this is our x-axis. Okay, so we're going to start with the first one, this one here. So this is how it will look like. It's a parabola which is passing at the center, the origin, like this. So this is y is equal to x squared, or we can say x is equal to the square root of y. So this is the graph. The next graph will be like this. This is y is equal to a 1. You see, y is equal to 1. It's passing at 1. So this is y is equal to 1. The next one is y is equal to 0. So y is equal to 0. It's the y-axis. X is equal to 0. It's a y-axis. So this is x is equal to a 0. The next one is x is equal to 1. X is equal to 1. It's, of course, this one. X is equal to 1. So this is 1. It's passing at 1. So if you can see the intersecting point, this is 1, 1. This one is negative 1, 1. What we found here, these coordinates. So now if you can see the region where it is, it's right over here. And when getting the region, we always get where all the equations are involved. So you can see this equation, we know that it's x is equal to 0. This one, part of the parabola, it's here, which is involved. Forget about this side because it is being cut by this. This one also is involved. It's right here. This one is involved just like here. I mean, just right over here. So the region is this one. So now the original question, they started respecting dy. So we want to start respecting dx. So we're going to write the integral signs like that, and then we start moving. Now it will be like this. You see the way it looks? You'll be moving like this. Forget about this, towards the region. Which equation are we meeting? We are meeting this equation, which is x is equal to 0. So you write x is equal to 0. So you pass through the region. When you pass through the region, when leaving the region, which equation are you meeting? This is y is equal to x squared. Now, since we are respecting x, we are going to say x is equal to square root of what? Of y. We just square rooted both sides so that we make x subject of the formula. So it will be square root of y, okay? And then when you get the inner limits, you can now just get the lower point here. What is the lower point here? It's a 0, okay, because this is 0, and then the upper point here, it's a 1. So these are the limits. Now we can even write what is inside, what we need to integrate. So this time around we shall say dx and then dy outside. So when we integrate here with respect to x, you shall start this, whatever's got y will be treated as a constant. So we're going to integrate this. So therefore it will be equal to, maintain the integral sign which is outside, and then here you shall say x power 2 over a 2. Remember, when integrating, we add a 1. So it's power 1 here, 1 plus 1, it's a 2. You divide by that, and then you say cos y power 2. The limits, we've got 0 there, and the root of y, we shall say dy here, okay? So now from this stage, we can substitute. When we get this root of y, we substitute it here. Because of the power 2, this root will go. We shall remain with the 1 over 2. There's a 1 here. 1 over 2 can be, since it's a constant, it can be factored out. So we write the integral sign. This is what we have. And then here we have a y. It was supposed to be y, root of y. But because of this power 2, the root and the power 2 will go. We shall remain with a y. And then we say cos y power 2. For the lower limit, which is a 0, when we put a 0 here, it will just be a 0. It won't change anything. So we say dy. Okay? So now from this stage, of course, we can say equal to 1 over 2, the integral over of this right here, and the limits are from 0 to 1. We have cos y cos y squared, and then dy. So this is the stage where we're at. So now from this stage, of course, we are going to use u substitution. So we shall say let u be equal to y power 2. We find the derivative of this, du dy will be equal to 2x. We cross multiply, we shall have du over 2y is equal to dy. So we are making dy subject of the formula. We want to come and get this and substitute it where dy is here. And this is how it's going to look like. We have 1 over 2 integral with the limits from 0 to 1 of y cos y power 2 du over 2y. Actually here we are supposed to put a u. This is u. Okay, because we said let y squared is be equal to u. So here we need to substitute u. Okay, so this is how it's going to look like. This and this will cancel. There is a 1 here over 2. So 1 times 1, it's a 1. Over 2 times 2, it's a 4. Okay? And then we have the integral limits from 0 to 1. Of course, u du. So we can now integrate here. We shall say 1 over 4 sine u, because the integral of cos u is a sine u. So we can now even substitute back the value of u. Here we said it's a y power 2. So we shall say sine y power 2 with the limits. Lower limit here it's a 0, upper limit it's a 1. So this is giving us a 1 over 4 sine 1. This is the answer. When we substitute this 0, it will just give us everything as a 0. So we just end here. This is our answer. Thank you.